So, you're thinking about the Canadian dream? For skilled professionals all over the world, the Federal Skilled Worker Program has always been the main highway to making that dream a reality. But here's the thing, that highway has changed a lot. It's no longer a simple lineup, it's a full-on global competition. So let's break down the new roadmap and see what this journey really takes.
You know, it wasn't always this way. It used to be a simple queue. First come, first served. You got your paperwork in and you waited your turn. But that system is long gone. Today, it's a highly competitive, merit-based race, all managed by a system called Express Entry. So forget about being first in line. The only thing that matters now is being the best in the pool.
Before you can even get into the race, you have to get past the gatekeeper, the 67-point test. Think of it as your non-negotiable entry ticket. It's a straight-up pass-fail screening, but the stakes couldn't be higher. If you score 66, your Canadian dream stops dead in its tracks right there. Now, if you clear that first hurdle, congratulations, you're in the race. But now you face the main event, the CRS score. This number, this is what truly decides your fate. The comprehensive ranking system ranks you against every single candidate from around the globe. A high score gets you that coveted invitation to apply. A low score just leaves you on the sidelines waiting.
Okay, so let's focus on that first gate. What does it actually take to pass this 67-point test and just get your foot in the door?
The magic number is 67. 67 out of 100. And let me be clear, this isn't a guideline. It's a hard line in the sand. This initial test is designed specifically to filter the pool down to only the most qualified people right from the start. There's no grading on a curve, there's no negotiation, it's just that strict. So, where do these points actually come from? Well, as you can see, the system puts a massive emphasis on two key areas. Your language skills, worth up to 28 points, and your education, which can get you up to 25. I mean, together, that's more than half of your potential score right there. That tells you exactly where you need to focus your energy first if you want to clear this hurdle.
So let's look at the absolute must-haves. You have to prove you've got the language chops with at least a CLB 7 score. Any degrees you have from outside Canada, they don't count for anything until they're validated with something called an ECA. Your work experience has to be in a skilled job, and, this is critical, it has to be continuous for at least 1 full year. And while anyone can apply, the system gives the most points to people between 18 and 35, which really shows Canada's focus on long-term economic contributors.
So, you've done it. You passed the test and you're through that first gate. Congratulations! But now you enter the arena, the Express Entry pool. And this is where the real competition begins. This is probably the biggest mental shift you have to make. See, it's no longer enough just to be qualified. From this point forward, your only goal is to get that CRS score as high as you possibly can, because you are now competing directly against the entire world. And believe me, the bar is high. For the general draws where pretty much everyone is competing against each other, the required CRS score is often sitting above 500. That is a very significant score to hit, and it just highlights why every single point you can get really matters.
So how do you climb the ranks? Well, here's your strategy guide. First, maximize those language points. Proving you're fluent in French, that's a huge advantage. Second, be strategic. Target the category-based draws if your job is in high demand, like in STEM or healthcare. And hey, don't overlook your partner. Even just having your spouse take a language test can give you that crucial little boost you need.
Okay, now this is really important because even the absolute strongest candidates can fail if they're not careful. Let's talk about the gauntlet of common application traps you absolutely must avoid.
Think of this as your what not to do guide. There are 3 classic mistakes that can completely derail an otherwise perfect application. First, the broken work year. The rule requires 1 year of continuous skilled work experience. And that word continuous is key. It means no gaps. A 2-week break between contracts during that qualifying year could make you ineligible. Seriously. Second is the mysterious money. You have to prove you have enough funds to settle, right? While the immigration officers need to see a 6-month history for that money. A huge last-minute deposit that you can't explain will get flagged as borrowed money, and your application will get refused. And finally, the title versus duties mismatch. Your job title doesn't matter nearly as much as what you actually did. The officer is going to compare the duties listed in your reference letter to the official government description of that job, and if they don't match up, that valuable work experience won't be counted. Poof, gone. So, you've passed the 67-point test, you've ranked high in the pool, and you've carefully avoided all those common traps. What happens next? You've reached the finish line.
You receive the invitation to apply, or what everyone calls an ITA. This is it. This is the golden ticket you've been working for. It's the official green light from the Canadian government confirming you've been selected and officially inviting you to apply for permanent residency.
But listen, this is a sprint, not a victory lap. The moment you get that ITA, a clock starts ticking, and it's loud. You have a very, very tight 60-day deadline to gather and submit a mountain of documentation. Being prepared ahead of time is everything here.
And a key part of that application is proof of funds. For a single applicant, you need to show you have about 15,263 Canadian dollars. Now, this isn't for application fees. This is the minimum amount the government requires to make sure you can support yourself while you get settled in.
Then, of course, you've got the direct application costs. The main government processing fee is 950 Canadian dollars per adult, and that's not even including the other fees for things like biometrics or securing your right of permanent residence.
After you've submitted every last piece of paper, the final wait begins. The standard processing time for about 80% of applications at this stage is somewhere between 5 and 7 months.
So there you have it. That's a clear roadmap of the Federal Skilled Worker Program. It's a journey of preparation, of competition, and of being incredibly meticulous with the details. The question now is, you have the roadmap, are you ready for the journey?